And here come the two sides, led out by the captain Steve Crossley and Mickey Hyam. The Leigh Sports Village is packed to the rafters. We're going to have some Sunday afternoon fun on Pulse 2. Derek Bowman, he has a massive smile like a Cheshire cat. He's applauding the red and white Leigh Centurions. The Bulls are going to play in their alternative strip of black shirts, black shorts, red, amber and black piping. The referees, Ben Thaler from Super League. This will be his 39th appearance in a Bradford Bulls game, and of the previous 38, the Bulls have won 15 and they've lost 23, and Ben Thaler was the man in the middle when Bradford beat Leeds back in May, 24-22, the stuff of memories. So we're about to get proceedings underway. Luke Mawson, a big, bold Pulse 2 prediction, please.
I'm going to go with 36-14, Mick. I think Leigh might start strong. They've got a really strong vocal fan base here, about 3,000 Leigh fans in attendance, but I think Bradford will come strong second half and run away with a 36-14 victory.
Wow, I think I might need to go lie down on a psychiatrist's couch. 36-14, the big bold Pulse 2 prediction from Luke Mawson, who joins me on commentary duties this afternoon. My big bold Pulse 2 prediction is we're going the distance. There's going to be a drop goal between either side, and it will be Jordan Lilly to win it for the Bulls, Martin Ridyard to win it for Leigh. Let's see what happens. So the Bradford lineup once again: Ethan Ryan at fullback, wing three-quarter line, Dalton Grant, Ashley Gibson, Ross Oakes and D. Foggy Johnston. The halves are Manny Wildy and Jordan Lilly. The forwards of Kirk, Hallis, Crossley, Garside, Staunton and Minchella. And on the interchange bench, it will be George Flanagan, John Magrin, Mikey Wood and Ross Peltier. And immediately Leigh have first use of the ball, and they will play away from the covered terraced end here towards the Bull supporters to our right, and immediately they are setting their stall out early doors here at the Leigh Sports Village. We've had 30 seconds gone here this afternoon as they look to move the ball over on the left hand edge. Matt Garside in defence along with Liam Kirk. Good strong defence so far from the Bulls. Leigh have had 3 tackles thus far. It is once again Mickey Hyam out of dummy half trying to control that ruck, and he is looking for the support, and it goes down the middle now with Ridyard, short, crisp pass there to Luke Douglas, and Douglas is going to be brought down on the last tackle, 10 metres inside the Bradford half. It goes from Hyam to Woods on loan from the Wigan Warriors, forward pass, and that will see the Bulls play the ball inside their own 20-metre line, 15 out. So an early scare there from Josh Woods. His kick towards his main stand side, and it was Matty Costello who palmed the ball forward, and referee Ben Thaler, he was quick to adjudicate that had gone forward. So here come the Bulls. Hallis out of dummy half to Staunton, first tackle gone here for the Bulls, just outside their own 20-metre line. It's Bradford Bulls live on Pulse 2. Mick Gledhill, Luke Mawson this afternoon, and Steve Crossley along the line to Lilly, and Lilly's come up with an error there, and this will put the Bulls under the pump early doors. First error from John Keir's side, Luke Mawson, and Leigh 20 metres out. They might fancy the chances of opening the scoring here.
Certainly not the way John Keir wanted his sides to start the game. There on the third tackle, a drop ball on the 20-metre line, and Leigh made some good yardage in that first set. They'll certainly fancy the chances here 20 metres out from the Bradford line.
Well, last weekend it was certainly a pleasing and positive performance. Still a lot to improve on, but a first winning 4 puts the Bulls in a good position, and they arrive here at the Leigh Sports Village with a bit of momentum, a bit of confidence. 16 points to 0 against Batley last weekend. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest scores happening in the Betfred Championship League 1 and of course Super League this afternoon. But here it is the Bulls under pressure, 10 metres out from their own try line as Leigh move it over on that left hand edge with Sam Brooks back to Ridyard taking on the Bulls line, and Ridyard's brought down 2 metres out just to the left hand side of the post. They're going to go back down the middle. Douglas's pass, it's a hospital error. Leigh have picked it up. Greg McNally's knocks that one on. Josh Rudds, he's away to the Bradford line. The try's not going to count. Greg McNally is adjudged to have touched the ball. It's an error apiece. We've had 2.5 minutes gone here on Pulse 2, and the score on the Pulse 2 scoreboard is Leigh 0, Bradford 0. And Bradford will be heavily relieved there. That former Bradford player, Greg McNally, has come up with the error. Luke Mawson.
Yeah, the ball went across Leigh hands there, and I think the ball just flicked off a Bradford hand on the way across, but referee Ben Thaler adjudged he was going in for the tackle, and then Greg McNally couldn't quite gather the ball off the floor. So another early scare averted for the Bulls, and Sam Alice is just bringing the ball out of the Bradford end, 20 metres out.
Hallis will play the ball. Second tackle gone. Ryan out of dummy half. It goes to Kirk. Kirk's caught high. Kirk's on the deck. The touch
somebody might be seeing a 10 minutes in the sim bin here.
The touch judge comes running on. And Leigh, I'm not sure which player it was. I think it was Sam Brooks. Sam Brooks, the former Halifax man. He has cleaned Liam Kirk out. That was a clinch fist. Contact on Liam Kirk's cheeks. Referee Ben Thaler is going to call over Sam Brooks here now. And he's got a big decision to make here.
He'll be lucky not to see 10 minutes here, Mick. Liam Kirk is not in a good way on the floor there.
He's now calling out Luke Douglas. There was Sam Brooks and Luke Douglas in the tackle, so he's decided it was Luke Douglas, the former Cronulla Sharks, Gold Coast Titans forward, on a year loan from St Helens. 3 tries for the Centurions. So first penalty of the afternoon. It's gone to the Bulls, and Liam Kirk, a little bit groggily, a little bit gingerly, is up on his feet. He's going to continue. Jordan Lilly, this ball's heading towards, someone catch it. Well, someone down below us in the media has caught that. That stopped it taking your head off there, Luke. But Bradford, they're going to have a full set of 6 on the halfway line. 4 minutes gone, 0-0 here. Scoreless, Steve Crossley on his return to action. The 28-year-old missed that 16-0 win over Batley last week through illness. Hallis out of dummy half to Wilde, to Lilly on that right-hand edge. Along the line it goes to Garside in the former London and St Helens centre back row forward. He's brought down 30 metres out from that Leigh Centurions try line. Here goes Hallis. Hallis, 12 metres out. He's made 18 metres there, Sam Hallis. And Bradford are on the 4th tackle now. 10 metres out. Lateral ball between Lilly and Wilde. Lilly's been taken out off the ball. Penalty in front of the post. And Ben Thaler. Ben Thaler. He's had enough. Leigh's ill-discipline costing him dearly. And that is Sam Brooks, the former Halifax forward. He played 1 game under Jeff Tuvey back in 2017. So the former Bradford loanee has conceded the penalty. A late hit on Jordan Lilly in front of the post, and John Keir sends the kicking tee on. The boos and jeers are from the Leigh Centurion supporters. They're not happy, but Lilly was clearly caught late there.
The referees ruled it was a shoulder charge as well, I think, there, Mick. So clearly wanted to stamp out any indiscipline early on, and the kicking tee's out. And Jordan Lilly, what's the Pulse 2 kick predictor saying here, Mick?
The Pulse 2 kick predictor saying 97%. 15 metres out, centre field position, right in front of that packed stand to our left, housing the Leigh Centurion supporters. Lilly with the right boot. That one's good. It is Leigh Centurions 0, the Bradford Bulls 2. We've had 6 minutes gone now this afternoon here at the Leigh Sports Village. And you can't, what's the word I'm looking for, Luke? Certainly John Keir knows that points are going to be at a premium this afternoon. It's going to be tight. And certainly you can't forgive him for sending the kicking tee on early doors.
Yeah, points are going to be at a premium this afternoon, Mick, and I think it was a wise call there just to take the sting out of the game a bit early on. Leigh had obviously had a strong start with a couple of sets on the Bradford line, so Bradford just nudged himself ahead here and will look to establish some field position and start to work their way back into this game.
So the Pulse 2 scoreboard, Leigh 0, Bradford 2, and Bradford 2 tackles in as Ross Oakes gets to his feet, and he'll play the ball in centre field. It goes now from Hallis to Lilly, Lilly to Crossley. Crossley's brought down 15 shy of the halfway line. Hallis now to Garside. He's going to meet Joe Batchelor head on, the former York player. He's on a dual reg spell here with Leigh from St Helens, and he is going to bring Garside down 5 metres shy of the halfway line. It goes to Minchella now to Kirk. Kirk's on the halfway line. 5th and last tackle coming up here for John Keir and the Bulls. Wilde to Lilly. There's a bit of spiral in that one. McNally does well, and McNally looks for support and immediately gives it to Matty Costello. He's another player the third one either on loan or dual reg in this Leigh Centurions side this afternoon from St Helens. There's 9 homegrown players in the Bradford squad this afternoon. The average age 23 years and 7 months. Leigh, first penalty of the afternoon. Stephen Marsh, the former Wigan and Widnes winger, he's held down on the halfway line. So a chance now for Leigh to have good field position inside the Bradford half. So while we wait for Martin Ridyard to find touch on the far stand side, we could tell you that yesterday it was Toronto 70, Dewsbury 8, and arguably the shock of the championship so far, Toulouse 18, Swinton 20, 12th beating second, and Toulouse don't lose many at the Stade Ernest Arglise in Blagnac, which is north-east Toulouse, and certainly Swinton have done their survival hopes the world of good with a fantastic 2018 win. Here come the Bulls, they've got to defend. Leigh, 10 metres out in front of the post, it goes from Hyam on that left-hand edge towards Cater, Joe Cater. He is brought down on top of the Bradford line, 5 metres out, it's going to go to Douglas. Douglas looking for support, head down towards the post, pushed back in the field of play by Crossley and Minchella. 4th tackle gone, Bradford leading 2-0. Their defence, is it going to buckle? Lilly wraps up Ridyard, great defence from Jordan Lilly. Leigh are on the last tackle now. What are they going to do? Ridyard plays the ball, Hyam on that left-hand edge. And a gap has opened up between Ethan Ryan and Ashley Gibson, and Ian Thornley, the former Wigan winger, he's got try number 12 of the season. He scored last week in that thumping 31-8 win over Halifax here. And Leigh, they get their first points of the afternoon. We've had 9 minutes gone here, and the Pulse 2 scoreboard says Leigh Centurions 4, Bradford Bulls 2.
It was just some real desperation defence for Bradford, defending on the back of that penalty, and then on the last tackle Mickey Hyam puts Ian Thornley through a gap. So a slight positional error down on that right edge for Bradford, and a shame because they threw a lot of bodies onto the line there and looked like they were going to escape without conceding any points. But Leigh with the first try of the afternoon, and Ridyard looks to be lining up the kick here, just a few yards inside from that left-hand touchline.
It's got to be said, Luke, great conviction there on that passing, and it was on the last tackle. Bradford just a little bit hesitant in that left edge defence. It was almost as if they were waiting for the kick didn't come, and it was that beautiful pass straight into the arms of Ian Thornley from 5 metres out. He went past Ethan Ryan and Ashley Gibson. The Pulse 2 kick predictor, 48%. Ridyard from that far stand side adds the extra 2. And on the Pulse 2 scoreboard at the Leigh Sports Village this afternoon, it's Leigh Centurions 6, Bradford Bulls 2. We've had exactly 10 minutes gone on the clock, and after Bradford guilty of laying on in the tackle, they have punished the Bulls ill discipline. Jordan Lilly with the restart. Towards his main stand side, Ian Thornley's made a hash of it. It bounces back kindly, and he's immediately smothered there by Oakes and Staunton. First tackle gone on the restart then. Out of dummy half from Cater. Cater's just going to carry it 25 out from the Leigh line. Centre field position. Hyam once again looking for the big men. Douglas along that line. And Leigh now, third tackle gone. 15 metres shy of halfway. Centre field position. Mick Leather, Luke Mawson here at the Leigh Sports Village. Hyam over on that left-hand edge towards Ridyard. Ridyard to Brooks. Brooks is brought down by Lilly and Garside as they come back in centre field now with Hyam out of dummy half. Last tackle, clear blue sky here in Leigh. Sun shining down. Brooks out of dummy half to Ridyard. Ridyard's just going to chip one over the top between Dalton Grant and Ethan Ryan, and that will turn the Bulls around. They will have the pudding at the scrum, 10 metres out from their own try line. Pulse 2 scoreboard, Leigh 6, Bradford 2, and the latest scores from those championship fixtures this afternoon. Don't forget, it's Barrow, Halifax, Batley, Sheffield, Featherstone, Widnes and York, Rochdale. And we could tell you there's an early try at Craven Park. It is Barrow 6, Halifax 0. It is Batley 0, Sheffield 6, Featherstone 6, Widnes 0. And it is the York City Knights 4, Rochdale Hornets 0. As we've already mentioned, to put a bit of perspective on the game here at the Leigh Sports Village this afternoon, as Ben Thaler gives back-to-back penalties to the Bulls for a dangerous tip tackle on Dalton Grant, and then someone's given
10 minutes here, Mick.
And here we go, Leigh, they're going to be down to 12 men. Someone has just mouthed off at referee Ben Thaler, questions his integrity, and he's now going to give another penalty to the Bulls. 3 penalties in quick succession. Dalton Grant in the tip tackle, someone's given dissent, and then there was more dissent and more dissent. And now the Leigh Centurions, now after talking back to the referee Sam Brooks, will spend the next 10 minutes in the sin bin. I was just going to say, to put a bit of perspective on Leigh Bradford, this is the only fixture which sees 2 of the top 5 chasing sides that are going to take points off each other this afternoon. So a win for the Bulls, it would do them the world of good. The 30 metres out now as Midchella fires it to Lily. Lily to Ryan. Ryan's brought down 20 metres out. The sun blazing down here at the Leigh Sports Village. Hallis out of dummy half now to Crossley. Crossley doesn't want it. Hot potato stuff from the Bulls. It goes from Lily to Wildy. Wildy's brought down. 15 out to the left-hand side of the post. Hallis now kicks ahead for himself. Staunton chasing. Ian Farnley puts his body on the line along with Joe Cater. Perhaps that was the wrong option there, Luke. But Bradford, they've turned Leigh around. And Leigh now, they have got the ball 10 metres out from their own try line, 2 tackles in, and this Bulls defence, it's on fine form here. We've had on the clock 13 minutes gone, and it is Leigh 6, Bradford 2, Luke, but Bulls putting the Centurions under the pump.
Yeah, on the back of another penalty there, enjoying some good field position, Bradford, but they've got to start taking the chances and executing some players a bit better down in Leigh territory. We can't afford to be turning over the ball too often. Need to start putting some points on the board, because Leigh are making some good meters coming out of their own end.
Bradford have the numerical advantage as Martin Ridyard kicks to touch on the last tackle, just over the top of Ethan Ryan. That is going to run 45 seconds off the clock. It remains Leigh 6, Bradford 2, and Ben Thaler, as we already said, he has a lot of Super League experience. He was a referee at the recent Rugby League World Cup in Australia, and certainly Ben Thaler not suffering any fools gladly this afternoon. And it is still Barrow 6, Halifax 0 at Craven Park. Halifax, of course, the visitors to Odsal on Sunday, where the Bradford Bulls have launched their Armed Forces Day. 10,000 tickets for £10. We'll mention more about that throughout the afternoon. But here comes Liam Kirk from the scrum up to the Bradford Bulls 40 metre line. Hallis is in there at dummy half to Crossley. Crossley's on the halfway line. Second tackle gone. Hallis now down the middle on that right edge to Garside. Garside does well. 15 metres made there from Matt Garside. They're 35 metres out now from that Leigh Centurions line as Lily goes probing, finds Midchella in support. Midchella head down, tucks the ball in. Midchella with a leg drive, and it has to be Ridyard who has to come in and wrap Midchella up. Bradford are on the last tackle, 20 metres out. Wildy in front of the post. Peppers one along the floor. Staunton chasing. Leigh have just got the ball out of the in-goal area, and Matty Staunton has forced the error. And here we go. Scrum head and feet to the Bulls. 10 metres out from the Leigh line. What a great kick from Wildy. Oakes and Staunton, and D. Johnston chasing it, Luke.
A really clever kick there, just to build pressure and try to force a repeat set, and they've done it probably not the way they thought they would do, but Leigh have come up with an error on their own line, and we've seen the kicking game from both sides dominate early on. Martin Ridyard's using his experience very well, kicking and finding touch and turning Bradford round, but Matty Wildy showing his experience there, and Bradford have another set on the Leigh line.
A third error of the afternoon from the Leigh Centurions. We've had 17 minutes gone here at the Leigh Sports Village. Here goes D. Foggy Johnston. He has taken the pass and offloading the tackle from Matt Garside, and he's 2 metres out in front of the Leigh line. Hallis to Midchella. Midchella along the line to Lily. Lily to Ryan now. Lily back to Ryan. Ryan now goes behind Midchella, head down, and he's brought down in a free-man tackle. 5 metres out from that Leigh line, centre field position. Hallis out of dummy half. Fires it to Wildy. Wildy on the inside. Liam Kirk's over the line, but Liam Kirk, the try won't count. Liam Kirk's being tackled by Matty Costello, and Manny Costello on loan from St Helens has pulled the ball out, we feel, because it's gone dead in goal, and it's a tap on the 20 for Leigh. Also near for the Bulls. It remains Leigh 6, Bradford 2.
Couldn't quite see what happened there, Mick. The ball obviously came loose, and referee Ben Thaler was in a great position to see that the ball was lost fairly, and Leigh come away with it with a tap on the 20-metre line, and they're already up to halfway, and they're making some really good metres, which will concern Bradford head coach John Keir at this moment.
McNally's in there at dummy half to Joe Cater, his 20th appearance this season for the Centurions. 35 metres out from the Bradford line in centre field, because Kirk had lost the ball in the in-goal area. It's a 7-tackle set, and here goes Douglas. He's brought down now just outside the Bradford 20. High amount of dummy half. Misses out Cater. A clever kick from Josh Woods. Turning Johnston around. Johnston does well. He's pushed in the in-goal area. The momentum took him back. The Bulls supporters, they're not happy with that decision, Luke Mawson. You can see they're on the feet, but referee Ben Thaler, he was close to that. And I think when you look at some of the people who were chasing Ian Fordley, Luke Douglas, defogging Johnston is only small in his appearance, and Bradford are forced to concede the first repeat set of the afternoon. That hasn't come from an error or a penalty.
It's just another example, Mick, of the kicking game of both sides. You know, neat kick in behind. We've got 3 men chasing, and defogging Johnston looked to have found field for me, and he looked to have fairly won possession there, but referee Ben Thaler ruled he was tackled in goal, and Leigh back in possession 20 metres out.
Liam Hood, Bradford born, has just replaced Mickey Hyam. He gives it to Douglas. Douglas quick play the ball. Here goes Hood, 10 metres out to Woods, to McNally. They're in at the corner, and it's Manny Costello. His 4th try of the season for the Leigh Centurions. And just like that, despite being down to 12 men, it's a huge sucker punch for John Keir and the Bradford Bulls. They now trail by 10 points to 2. And you've got to say, Luke Mawson, it is potentially a 10 or 12 point turnaround, because if Kirk grounds that ball to the left hand side of the post, it's 8-6. As it is now, it's 10-2, potentially 12-2.
That's fine margins at this level, Mick. If you don't take your chances, they'll come up the other end and they'll take on themselves. And Leigh defended that Liam Kirk try real well, attempted try really well, and go up the other end, force a repeat set, and then move the ball out wide well. Some quick hands, just caught defogging Johnson out of position slightly, and Matty Costello dives over in the corner.
Pulse 2 kick predictor, 34% for Martin Ridyard, who will attempt this conversion on this main stand side. Leigh, they've won 4 of the last 5 games, and Ridyard sends that one between the posts. Radar-like from Martin Ridyard. Pulse 2 scoreboard, Leigh Centurions 12, Bradford Bulls 2, and certainly the Leigh Centurions under head coach John Duffy, just 1 defeat in their last 5 games, with wins over Halifax, Workington, Widnes of course at the Summer Bash, and the Sheffield Eagles. They did lose heavily in between those wins against Toulouse, away by 44 points to 16, which makes that result yesterday for Swinton Lions even more remarkable. Ladies score, it is still Barrow 6, Halifax 0, Batley Bulldogs 0, Sheffield Eagles 18, and it's Featherstone 6, Widnes 0, and Bootham Crescent, it's York City Knights 10, Rochdale 0. Still Salford 4, Wakefield 6 at the AJ Bell Stadium. Here at the Leigh Sports Village, Liam Hood's gone through a gap, lost the ball, picked up by Ashley Gibson, and Gibson's going to go. Here goes Ashley Gibson, rolling back the years. Gibson's brought down on the 0 tackle, 30 metres out from that Leigh line, and Bradford, you suspect, under the pump now, but looking for a bit of momentum as Dalton Grant's been caught on the shoulder. A Leigh player's down in back play. That'll be tackle number 1, 30 metres out. But oh my word, certainly this game, it's ebbing and flowing.
Yeah, it's another opportunity for Bradford here in the Leigh half. We've got to start taking the chances up here, because we've seen how dangerous Leigh are coming out of their own end. And now with a full set of 6 in the Leigh half, they need to make it count and look to work their way back into this game with roughly 20 minutes gone, 12 points to 2 down, and with an extra man.
And as we've said, Lou, you know, the Bulls, they're not going to have Too many chances 10 metres out from that Leigh line. You have to take your chances.
We've already seen the scoring prowess of this Leigh team. They've been putting a lot of big scores on here at the Leigh Sports Village, especially this year. They've only lost one game here all year, and that was to Toronto. So you can't let them get too far ahead early doors, especially with a man advantage.
Well, we're about to see a blood-bin interchange, and coming on for his second Leigh Centurions debut will be Jordan Thompson, the former Castleford and Hull FC forward, and they're just waiting for the nod from the fourth official. Might be able to pick up John Duffy, the Leigh coach, who sat directly behind us. So that won't count on the interchange. So on will come Jordan Thompson. He has a lot of Super League experience. And Bradford now, as Dalton Grant plays the ball, a huge opportunity to get themselves back in this game this afternoon. Alistair Kirk, second tackle gone, 25 metres out centre field. Here goes Wilde to Staunton. Staunton's gone without the ball. A fourth error of the afternoon for the Bradford Bulls, and it is worth remembering what happened last Sunday. There were a 44% completion in that first half. Huge improvement needed, and certainly the Bulls, they can ill afford to drop the ball in those types of situations. Leigh still down to 12 men, but they'll be back to 13 in 2 minutes' time, and in that period, with Sam Brooks in the sin bin, Matty Costello and a Martin Ridyard conversion have added an extra 6 points to the Leigh Centurions total. They're on the halfway line, Leigh, in front of our commentary position, as Hood gives it to Woods. Woods going to kick early, turns Ethan Ryan around, and you can see what they're doing, Luke Mawson. Leigh are showing great respect to the Bradford Bulls, because they're not kicking towards Ryan, they're not kicking towards Grant, they're kicking it to touch, turning it around, stopping that Bradford kick chase momentum.
It's a really clever tactic, especially when they're down to 12 men at the minute. You can see Brooks just about to come back onto the field, but just taking the sting out of the game, getting the breath back in the lungs, and Bradford now starting on their own 10-metre line, and Leigh are certainly making the more metres in the opening stage of this half, so they'll certainly won't be too disheartened by that.
Well, if you're just joining us on Bradford Bulls Live on Pulse 2 this afternoon, it is Leigh 12 after tries from Thornley and Costello, Bradford 2. The Bulls did lead 2-0 after 6 minutes after a penalty from Jordan Lilly in front of the post. There's no Connor Farrell, dead leg. Colton Roach and Jake Webster missing through sickness and diarrhoea, and Callum Bustin is rested. So 4 changes. Ashley Gibson, career appearance number 200. Can the Bulls get some points before half-time? This penalty will help Sam Brooks. He's just come on the field, and it's now the penalty count is Leigh 1, Bradford 6. So Bradford receiving these penalties, receiving these gifts. 13 against 13. Can the Bulls do something from this full set of 6? Crossley on tackle 1.
The scoreline certainly doesn't reflect Bradford's 6 penalties to Leigh's 1, does it, Mick? Leigh are just simply taking the chances when they get down to the Bradford end. Just putting on a short side play with Ethan Ryan. Some good scrambling defence there by Leigh. So Bradford 20 metres out. Ross Oakes passes to Matty Wilde along the line.
Wilde now to Lilly. To Garside. Garside caught in a whirlwind. He's brought down. Third tackle. 25 metres out centre field. Hallis on that right hand edge to Kirk. Kirk carries Bradford 20 metres out. Fourth tackle gone. 1 remaining here for the Bulls. Here goes Lilly probing. Lilly looking for options to Wilde. Wilde along the line to Ryan. Here comes that second phase attack. Ethan Ryan. He's been rolled into touch. Ethan Ryan, centimetres out from scoring and getting Bradford's first try of the afternoon. And Josh Woods and Matty Costello come in, slid across, and Ethan Ryan agonisingly close for John Keir. Pulse 2 scoreboard, Leigh 12, Bradford 2.
We've seen a real desperation in defence from Leigh as well, much like what we saw from Bradford last week. You know, they're working for each other, they don't want anyone to get in behind them, and we saw that with the tackle on Liam Kirk to dislodge the ball about 5 minutes ago, Mick. So another example of Leigh's determination to keep Bradford out, and it looked like Ethan Ryan were destined to score, but not on their watch. It's still 12-2 to Leigh Centurions.
Bradford's last 5 games, just the 1 league win against Batley last weekend, 16-0. Heavy defeats against Barrow and Featherstone, in between 2 close humdingers against Halifax. 21-14 at the Summer Bash, and then the heartache and agony of that 2016 defeat at Odsal in the quarter-final of the Coral Challenge Cup. And guess who the visitors to Odsal are next Sunday? Halifax, back for the 5th time this season. Here come Leigh though, quick fast hands, McNally out to Costello on this main stand side. Costello's made 15 metres inside the Bradford half. Quick play the ball, McNally now looking for Woods. Woods to Hood. Hood's pass, that's been knocked on by Stephen Marsh. Referee says he's kept hold of the ball, Stephen Marsh. Bradford for waiting for the whistle. Ridyard kicks towards Ethan Ryan, and once again that one's heading for the touchline, but Ethan Ryan decides to take it. And here goes Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan's away. Inside support from Wildy. Wildy's away. 30-20-10. Goodbye. Wildy's under the post. The Bulls fight back starts here at the Leigh Sports Village. 12 points to 6. The kick to come from in front.
That play there is exactly why we've seen Leigh try to find touch with every kick. Ethan Ryan bringing the ball out there just on his 10-metre line, steps his way through a gap, runs 50 metres before putting Matty Wildy away. That's why Leigh are so desperate to find touch with the kicks. To Bradford's threat coming out of the back with the ball. And it's probably just reward for the visitors' efforts here. At 12-6, kick to come, surely 12-8, and it's game on.
I tell you what, fire up Celine Dion, fire up the Titanic music, because the Bulls are back in this one. And it was what we've just been saying about Leigh. You can see what Ridyard and Woods are doing. The kicking to touch, the negating the threat of Ethan Ryan. And we've just seen Ethan Ryan at his brilliant best. He might be going to Hull Kingston Rovers next season, but Ethan Ryan is going to enjoy the last 10 games in the red, amber and black for the Bradford Bulls. And he has just got the Bulls back in this one. The Pulse 2 kick predictor, 100% for Jordan Lilly. This to take it a 4-point ball game at the Leigh Sports Village. Don't you just love rugby league? It's 12 points to 8.
Yeah, the Bradford fans there, just as the players go back to their starting positions in good voice and in good numbers there over in the south stand, and probably just reward for Bradford's efforts. Leigh back to 13 men, but still that ill-discipline costing them, and Bradford finally capitalised.
Well, I've just looked behind me, Luke, and Ralph Rimmer's here, the RFL CEO, Chief Executive of the Rugby Football League, and Ralph Rimmer must be absolutely delighted with what he's watching here, because if Super League decide to go it alone in 2021, let me tell you, the Championship, a fantastic product. There's certainly a lot of competitors out there on the field. Ethan Ryan takes the tackle immediately after the Leigh Centurions restart. So, Lilly 2 from 2. Wildy. What a try that was. Wait till you watch that one on the highlights, and I think I might be pestering Luke at half-time to get that try out this evening.
He certainly likes a runaway effort against Leigh, doesn't he, Matty Wildy, after his effort at Odsal in March. But again, we just saw the threat of Ethan Ryan there, bringing the ball back out as Mikey Wood comes on to replace Liam Kirk, Bradford's first interchange.
Lilly to Michela, the Leigh defence, homing in ones and twos and threes, trying to suffocate the Bulls. They're on the last tackle. They're going for it. Lilly to Gibson, to Grant. Grant's away, kicks ahead past McNally. Woods chasing it, but too much on it from Dalton Grant. Wow. That was certainly not in the John Kay textbook. As Bradford on the last tackle, they were on the halfway line. They decided to go over on that far stand side. And that good, quick, fast hands from Lilly. Gibson almost certainly, or nearly, produced another score for the Bradford Bulls. This one certainly from the opening 30 minutes gone here at the Leigh Sports Village. This one is right up there with the games of the season to date. Leigh, 10 shy of halfway line as Hood comes on this main stand side to Costello. Costello's brought down on halfway. Oakes and Wildy in defence for the Bradford Bulls. Hood in at dummy half. Looks to find Josh Road. Goes on a bit of a lateral run. Now he goes to Ridyard. Ridyard fires it out over on that left-hand edge to Ian Fawnley. Fawnley's away. Fawnley's brought down. Fourth tackle gone here for the Leigh Centurions. They're inside the Bradford 40-metre line as Ridyard gives it back to Cater. Cater's brought down in a three-man tackle. And referee Ben Failer urging the Bulls back inside their own 20-metre line as it goes to Wood. Wood thought about the kick. Keeps it going. Gives it there to Adamson. Luke Adamson offloads the ball to Cater. Cater's caught on the shoulder. And that's the last tackle for Leigh. They're 10 metres out in front of the post. And Leigh awarded their third penalty of the afternoon. And Steve Crossley, he's asking referee Ben Thaler, what was that for? And Leigh, they know this is a massive championship 4-pointer, and they now are going to take the 2 points on offer. Luke Mawson, Pulse 2 kick predictor, says 100% for Martin Ridyard. I think Leigh are about to restore a 6-point lead here. But oh my word, this is high octane.
It's certainly living up to its pre-match billing, is this one. Two real juggernauts of championship rugby going head to head, and just a bit of ill discipline costing both sides. And Ross Peltier is just about to be introduced for Steve Crossley here, but Mikey Wood just interfering there to play the ball, and Ben Thaler wasn't happy with how long he was laying in a tackle as Ridyard slots the penalty over. Leigh Centurions 6 points, 6-point advantage, and Gareth Hock's about to come on as well, so got to stay tuned to this one. It's going to get a bit lively, I think, out there.
Divert your ears at your own peril. It is Bradford Bulls live on Pulse 2, and it's Leigh Centurions 14, Bradford Bulls 8. Martin Ridyard free from 3. Leigh try scorers Thornley and Costello. Wildy, a superb length of the field effort, combining with Ethan Ryan, and Jordan Lilly gets us back underway. We have 8 minutes to go to half time here. And it's going to be Luke Adamson, the former Salford, Oldham and Halifax forward, who carries the ball and meets the brick wall of Mikey Wood and Matt Garside. And you talk about Ross Peltier coming on, so too has Gareth Hawk. Over 50 appearances for the Leigh Centurions, and now something's happened with Gareth Hawk at the play of the ball, and Sam Hallis has been penalised for laying on Gareth Hawk, and immediately you see it happen. Bradford were leading the penalty count 6-1, it's now 6-4. 2 quick penalties, and the Bulls are going to be under pressure here, Luke, as Ridyard finds touch on the halfway line.
Bradford can't just keep giving Leigh good field position because they're finding it for themselves, so they're architects of their own downfall at the minute. Bradford, just a bit of ill discipline creeping into the game, and having worked their way back into it with that Matty Wildy try, they can't afford to give Leigh too many opportunities as we approach half time.
Liam Hood to Gareth Hawk. Hawk's lost the ball. Ross Peltier. It looks like a biblical figure, someone from the Bible. And here we go. Gareth Hawk's pushed Jordan Lilly in the back. The players come together. The touch judges are on. It's handbags at dawn. But what a tackle that was from Ross Peltier. He was the impact of Hawk landed on his side, and the ball squirmed out.
It's a good two-man tackle, Ross Peltier and Sam Hallis there. Sam Hallis a bit fired up at the minute. I'm not sure if that's anything to do with Gareth Hawk's arrival on the pitch, but he lost the ball on the impact, and that's exactly what Ross Peltier was brought onto the field to do, to rough things up a bit in the middle and force some errors, and that's exactly what he's done. But Leigh have been awarded a penalty here. Not quite sure what for, Mick. They've been awarded a penalty 30 metres out, despite Gareth Hawk coming up with an error there.
I've just watched the touch judge has come on. Ben Thaler gave a knock on. They're saying Sam Hallis lifted Gareth Hawk above the horizontal, and it was a dangerous tip tackle. That is what they are saying, and this will present Martin Ridyard a chance to give Leigh a 2-score lead as we approach half time here at the Leigh Sports Village. 6 minutes to go to half time, and the Pulse 2 kick predictor saying 74%. So Sam Hallis has just given 2 quick penalties away, and are the Leigh Centurions via the boot of Martin Ridyard about to punish John Kerr and the Bulls? Ridyard 30 metres out in front, he's pushed it wide. Perhaps that is karma. 14-8 it remains on the scoreboard. Ridyard's first miss of the afternoon.
Yeah, they're going to get the ball back, Leigh, here, but Bradford certainly Boyd and Leigh are going to start on halfway with that 20-metre dropout. And Gareth Hawk's back in again here. Watch out for this one. A big collision there between Ross Peltier and Gareth Hawk once again.
That is worth the admission money alone. Peltier and Hawk going hammer and tongs down the middle. 2 tackles gone as Adamson plays the ball. It goes to Hawk again. Hawk's second carry. Leigh's third tackle, and the 20 metres out in front of the Leigh, in front of the Bradford post, centre field. Here goes Josh Woods. Woods Along the line to McNally. McNally against his former club, and that's a forward pass
there, Mick.
And now someone said something to Leigh, and it's another penalty. This time it's a penalty to the Bulls. Oh, and it's another penalty. There's more descent. An eighth penalty.
Now Josh Flanagan's on the pitch, Mick. This is going to get a little bit spicier. And he was given a penalty just for running behind the man there, crossing on the Bradford line. And then somebody was mouthing off to Ben Phelan, and he's having none of that. Bradford starting on halfway.
Well, the penalty count is 8-5. We've had 13 penalties. That's the 4th penalty Leigh have given away in this first half for dissent to the match officials. Lilly to Gibson over on that right-hand edge. He's brought down 2 metres in from the far stand side on the halfway line. Tackle number 1 for the Bradford Bulls. Grant, the Welsh international, at dummy half to Garside. Garside second tackle, rolled over in a free-man tackle, 5 metres inside that Leigh Centurions half. Here goes Flanagan to Wood, the former Huddersfield Giant Academy product, and Mikey Wood's brought down, 35 out, 3rd tackle gone. Here goes Flanagan, Flanagan towards the Leigh line. A last grass tackle there from Joe Cater. The Bulls are on tackle 4. The 20 metres out with Lilly. Along the line to Wildy. To Oakes. 8 metres out. Last tackle here for Joe Cater and the Bulls. Ryan out of dummy half to Wildy. Wildy peppers one in. Costello just does enough to get out. He's brought down by Wildy and George Flanagan. And now Leigh, the supporters beseeching the referee. They want a penalty. Oh, it's all happening here at the Leigh Sports Village. Leigh 14, Bradford 8 this afternoon. And here we're going to see the debutant Jordan Thompson carrying Leigh outside their own 20-metre line. We've got 2 minutes to half-time on the clock. Stephen Marsh now on that left edge. 4th tackle gone for the Centurions. There's Wood at Garside in defence as Leigh keep going. They're relentless. They're up to their own 40-metre line with Ian Thornley. Hood out a dummy half towards Josh Woods. And Woods kicks, turns around Defugging Johnston. There was a huge grasp there as Defugging Johnston nearly knocked the ball on, but he somehow magnetised the ball to his palm of his arm, and now Defugging Johnston will play the ball 20 metres out from his own try line on tackle number 1. Dalton Grant on tackle 2. Here goes George Flanagan. He says get out of the way. Sucks in Hock, offloads the ball back to Grant. Grant looks for support and Grant's tipped in the tackle there. The officials have decided to ignore that one. Ryan out of dummy half to Peltier. Peltier loses his footing and he's brought down 2 metres shy of halfway on tackle number 4. 14-8, the Bulls trail here as it goes from Flanagan to Wood. Wood's brought down 40 metres out from that Leigh line on the last tackle. Back in centre field to Lilly. Lilly goes high. He's going to put McNally under pressure. They're going to let it bounce, and they've knocked the ball on in the in-goal area. It's going to be a goal line dropout from Jordan Lilly. McNally losing the ball there, and we have 60 seconds on the clock. The Bulls one last hurrah at the end of an absolutely enthralling, captivating first half here at the Leigh Sports Village. I don't want this game to end. I want it to go on and on and on.
Certainly what we expected it to be, Mick, and now as Bradford just received the ball, Matty Wildy traps it on the 40-metre line, and now full set with half-time approaching. Bradford could lock the scores up going into half-time.
Yeah, can the Bulls get some points before the hooter? Seconds remaining at the end of this first half. Wood plays the ball, it goes to Wildy. Wildy to Peltier, finds the Jamaican international, and he's brought down 20 metres out in front of the Leigh line. Flanagan now to Wildy. They go probing on that right-hand edge. Lilly's lost the ball. Leigh pick it up, and here go Leigh. It's Greg McNally. McNally's away, and Greg McNally against his former club. It's going to be heartbreak for the Bulls. McNally, too much toe. A valiant chase back by Matty Wildy, but as the hooter about to sound, a sucker punch from the Leigh Centurions to the Bradford Bulls. Jordan Lilly's error, 20 metres out in front of the Leigh post, has been punished. It's 18 points to 8.
I think if you asked me for the tale of the tape, Mick, at half-time, I think Bradford have had 2 errors on the Leigh line, with the Leigh line gaping, and Leigh have run away with 2 tries on the back of them, and that's what the difference is at the minute. There's not much between the two sides, but Bradford have put with errors in key positions on the Leigh line. And Leigh managed to take their chances, and with a breakaway try there. I did think Greg McNally was offside when collecting the ball from that error, but the referees rule play on and he runs 80 metres home. And the Leigh fans are absolutely ecstatic here as half-time's about to be signalled by referee Ben Thaler.
Pulse 2 kick predictor. 100%. Ridyard from in front. An extra 2 points here at the Leigh Sports Village. Leigh Centurions 20, Bradford Bulls 8. The hooter yet to sound, the seconds remaining. And Bradford, they have been the architects of their own downfall. 2 errors, 2 lead tries. You take away the 12 points, it's 8 points apiece. Jordan Lilly back on the halfway. Kicks long and deep. Josh Woods decides to give the ball on the inside to Liam Forsyth. Forsyth brought down. Tackle number 1. Liam Hood in at dummy half to Jordan Thompson. And that try from Greg McNally has potentially taken a lot of juice, a lot of confidence out of the Bradford Bulls, as Leigh now 15 metres shy of the halfway line. Centre field position. Liam Hood goes probing down the middle. Flanagan and Wood concede the penalty. And we've had a deluge of penalties in this first half. We've had 14 penalties in total. This is on the halfway line. The seconds remaining. And they're going to go for... No, they're not. I thought they might go for the 2. They're going to go potentially for another try. And if the Bulls concede what would be a 4th try in this first half here, that would certainly make it difficult for the final 40 minutes. Bradford, they have to keep Leigh out here. They've given a penalty away in front of the post. George Flanagan. That was silly done, Rugby League. He was being closely watched there by Ben Thaler, Luke. He wasn't square. He's made a play at the ball. And John Duffy will give the kicking tee, or send on the kicking tee to Martin Ridyard, and Leigh are going to take an easy 2 points in front of the post. It's a very sour, flat, deflating end to the first half of what has been a promising first half for the Bulls.
Yeah, as a half-time hooter sounds in the background there, Mick, we could have been looking at a level ball game. The ball's dropped 20 metres out from the Leigh line, they race away, score, convert, and they're going to kick another 2 here. So we've gone from being 14-all to 22-8, and that's a big margin. And it's just, it'll take the wind out of the Bradford sails a little bit, unfortunately, but they need to regroup, build on what they've done well and fix what they've not done so well in this first half.
Well, we've had 15 penalties in the first half. I don't think we've quite seen a game like this for a long, long time.
Victim of their own downfall. They're too indisciplined at the end of that first half. Too many errors in good field position, and handing Leigh some good field position themselves, and they've been more than happy to take advantage of that. So they just need to keep hold of the ball a bit better, not give away as many penalties, which in quite a, I think it's 8-7 the penalty count in that first half, Mick.
It is 8-7 indeed.
Need to keep the heads a bit better, keep the ball and get a bit more field position, because it's all Leigh at the minute.
Well, we're back under 8. Leigh via the boot of Josh Wood, straight downtown towards Dalton Grant. The sun shining down here at the Leigh Sports Village. 14 points the gap the Bulls have to overturn. Can they do it? Mick Leddell, Luke Mawson, Bradford Bulls live on Pulse 2. And at the start of this second half, Bradford, they've started with a lot of purpose and energy, a bit of enthusiasm in the play as Ross Peltier carries the Bulls out the road 20 metre line, and here we go. Gareth Hock now laying on in the tackle. An early penalty at the start of the second half, so it looks like Ben Thaler, Luke, he's not going to change his way. The last thing the listeners and the spectators and the players want, because everyone's just going to get frustrated, is a high penalty count. But so far, as we said, we're already at 16 penalties.
I think he's officiated the game quite well. If he's got a blow, he's got a blow, Mick. And Bradford just entering the Leigh half now, 40 metres out with Elliot Minchella. Both sides just need to tighten up their discipline, because it's not ruining the spectacle. It's a very good game. But John Lilly's through. Oh, some good tackling there by Leigh and Martin Ridyard. 30 metres out from the Leigh line, but discipline costing both sides. But Leigh are the only side who are taking advantage. While Mackie was through a gap, he's put Elliot Minchella away.
Minchella, 5 metres out. Can he get the ball down? He's going to be held up in the leading goal area. Greg McNally coming in at the side, and that was a great offload there from Mikey Ward. And the Bulls 10 metres out. Early start to the second half. We've had 41 minutes gone. Manny Wilde out wide, looking for Ross Oakes. Ross Oakes finds the support of Staunton. Staunton's brought down, 5 out. Last tackle here for John Kerr and the Bulls. The 10 metres in on that far stand side. Crossfield kick from Wilde. Wilde's kick being palmed out by Stefan Marsh. The Bulls have forced another goal line dropout, and that is just the start John Kerr would have wanted.
Another smart play from Matty Wilde there. His kicking game's really impressed me this afternoon. Just kicking in behind, forcing that repeat set, putting the pressure on Leigh, and Bradford have come out all guns blazing at the start of the second half.
Referee Ben Fairley just having a word there with Marlon Ridyard to hurry things up. We do have the shot clock in operation at Championship games, and he fires it long on the left diagonal towards Wilde. Wilde to Wood. Wood's brought down, tackle number 1, 20 metres out from that Leigh line. It now goes from Flanagan. Flanagan to Peltier. He was the player who won that penalty that has the Bulls in this field position. Peltier, quick play the ball. Flanagan out of dummy half. George Flanagan looks for support. George Flanagan towards the line. Flanagan's caught high. The touch just comes on. It's the 10th penalty of the afternoon that's gone the way of the Bulls. And referee Ben Thaler, I think it's going to be no more than a penalty, but he's going to stop the clock because George Flanagan's down. And that was just late and high. No malicious, I think he was just a little bit lazy. And the Bulls, they're going to run it. 43 minutes gone here at the Leigh Sports Village. The trail by 14. What a try at the start of this second half would do for their confidence.
This is exactly what Bradford needed, Mick, at the start of the second half. It's all Bradford down the lane. George Flanagan tries to go over from close range.
Flanagan twisted
he's
and
held
turning.
up just short, wriggling out of the Leigh defence there. But
you heard the Bulls supporters oohs and ahs. Michella's in there at dummy half. Lilly, Wilde, out wide to Ross Oakes. Ross Oakes, he's got his heart and soul set on a try, and Ross Oakes goes close. He's a metre out from that Leigh line, 15 metres to the left hand side of the post. He's on top of the Leigh line, and it's another penalty.
There's another one in the bin here,
Someone said something to Ben Thaler again. Leigh down to 12 again. Open up the gate, let him in, and it's Greg McNally. Greg McNally's going for 10, the former Bradford player. So, can the Bulls pour some points with Leigh down to 12? Penalty count now is Leigh 7, Bradford 11. And they're down 22-8 on the Bulls 2 scoreboard. We've had 44 minutes gone here at the Leigh Sports Village. I made a big bold prediction to strap yourselves in. We're going the distance. McNally has just left the field. And here we go. Wilde to Peltier. 3 penalties at the start of this second half have got the Bulls here in great field position. Can they turn possession into points? Wilde to Wood. Wood's brought down. 2 metres out now on his knees. Great tackle there by Jordan Thompson. Flanagan out of dummy half to Ross Peltier. Peltier's underneath the sticks, and Peltier has dropped the ball over the line underneath the post. It's another criminal error there from the Bulls.
Got 4 sets on the Leigh line then. Don't go away with any points while Leigh are down to 12 men. It's disheartening from a Bradford point of view, but Leigh scrambling really well in defence and come away unscathed.
McNally in the bin. The Bulls having that numerical advantage, and they have dropped the ball over the Leigh line twice now. It's deja vu. It's like a horror movie, and Leigh on the back of having that 20-metre tap, they've conceded the penalty, and now there's a disagreement between Elliot Michella and George Flanagan in centre field as Leigh have their 8th penalty of the afternoon with Steve Crossley off the field and Mickey Hyam on the bench. Referee Ben Fairley now is laying the letter of the law down to Michella and Ridyard, and Leigh might just go for 2 points here, run some seconds off the clock. The penalty's awarded. 42 metres out in front of the Bradford post. They're going to run it. They're going to run the ball. They're not going to go for two. Here it goes to Ridyard then. He's going to find touch on this main stand side. 46 minutes gone. 34 minutes remain. The Bulls, they've dropped the ball twice. Here we go with Thornley. Thornley 10 metres out. Leigh. This really would be the ultimate sucker punch. Hood to Hawk. Hawk smothered by those black shirts, and Hawk's lost the ball. Referee says tackle completed. He's slowly losing control of this one. Is Ben Thaler. Here goes Ridyard. Ridyard towards the Bradford line. Ridyard's held up.
Tackle that is Nathan Ryan there, Mick. He saw the threat as Ridyard stepped onto his right and he got under the man and held him up over the line. So Ridyard will play the ball 10 metres out.
22 points to 8. The Leigh pressure incessant. Twisting and turning Joe Batchelor. He's looking for his first try of the season. He's lost the ball now. And Bradford's defence stands firm. I can't believe what we're watching, what we're listening here. This is up there with the very best. You can't predict what's going to happen next.
He just tried too hard to score there, Mick. There were 3 Bradford players underneath him, and he just lost the ball trying to ground it, and now Bradford have a 7 tackle set coming out of their own end with Dalton Grant.
Grant on tackle number 1, Defoggy Johnston. He's had a relatively quiet, low impact afternoon. For some reason, they've been keeping the ball away from Grant and Johnston. Here goes Ashley Gibson, career appearance number 200, the former Salford, Wakefield and Leeds man. First appearance since Bradford's 14-12 win over Keighley in the Challenge Cup as Wilde flouts it on to Oakes. Oakes is away, Ross Oakes is in support, Wilde is on the inside, outside, the bob to try, it's another one from the Bulls. What on earth is happening out there? Surely we can't put it down to sweaty palms.
It's unbelievable. That's 3 times I've lost the ball with the Leigh line gaping, and 3 scores. You'd be looking at a level ball game here, Mick, and that's the difference between the two sides. The ball's certainly sticking in the Leigh hands. Bradford can't keep hold of it at the minute.
If Wilde takes that, he's underneath the post. If Kirk puts the ball down, it's 6 points. Same with Peltier. The Bulls have bombed 18 points here at the Leigh Sports Village this afternoon. And 18 plus 8 is 26. 22-8 though, the scoreboard remains. Approaching 50 minutes gone in this one. Leigh still down to 12 men as Gareth Hawk leaves the field to a standing ovation. Here goes Liam Hood on the halfway line towards Stephen Marsh. Stephen Marsh is brought down 10 metres inside the Leigh half on this left-hand edge. Hood now back to Ridyard. Ridyard to Jordan Thompson, and Thompson gets Leigh motoring. Moving forward, they're advanced up to the Bradford 30-metre line. The kick's going to come from Ridyard. Dalton Grant's made a play at that one. Still the last. No, he hasn't. And listen to the noise. Listen to the noise. They're not happy with that one. As Bradford 22-8 down here. Massive crowd at the Leigh Sports Village. Mikey Wood's going to take tackle number 1. 30 out from his own try line. Here goes Wilde. Wilde up to the Bradford 40. Second tackle gone. We've had exactly 50 minutes gone in this one. 30 minutes remain for the Bulls in this 4-pointer. And it's another penalty. Another penalty because Ethan Ryan has been caught high. And it's Luke Adamson who holds his arm up. Penalty count now. Leigh 8, Bradford 12. We've had 20 penalties, Luke Lawson, and another opportunity for the Bulls to get back in this game.
If Bradford are serious about getting anything from this game, Mick, they've got to score off one of the next 2 sets. They can't afford to let time go any longer without scoring, especially as Leigh are down 12 men again. They've got to take advantage soon. They can't keep dropping the ball in key positions.
Here goes Ross Peltier. Peltier down that left-hand edge. 10 metres out. Second tackle gone. McNally's in the bin. They're down to 12. Leigh Centurions, no change to the half-time score. Wildis Mesomesovic picked up by Lilly. Lilly to Gibson. And Gibson's absolutely flattened. Crunching tackle, but they've got options on this right-hand edge. Here goes Garside. Garside towards the Leigh line. He's 2 metres out. 2 tackles remaining here for the Bradford Bulls. We've got 29 minutes remaining. They're down by 14 points. Wilde to Peltier. Peltier looking to get the ball out of that tackle, but he's brought down by Josh Woods. Last tackle, left to centre field, out to Ryan. Ryan's pass goes into touch.
Pat down there by Leigh man, Mick.
It was touched by a Leigh hand, and here we go. The Bulls reset and reload. 22 points to 8 to the Leigh Centurions. We have 28 minutes remaining. This one bubbling nicely here.
I said they've got to score off one of the next 2 sets, Mick, and this is the second. They've got to execute the plays a lot better than this. Leigh finding it too easy to defend their own line at the minute.
If you want to text in on Pulse 2 this afternoon, it's 65115. Start your text with Pulse 2. We've opened up the text number. There's a lot to talk about at full time. We might have to do a separate podcast. Garside then, from that scrum. Tackle 1, Wood tackle 2, underneath the Leigh post. Once again this Leigh defence, full of resilience, full of vigour. Can the Bulls penetrate? Peltier to Flanagan! George Flanagan is underneath the sticks, and it's the first point of the second half, and it's game back on here at the LSV. Leigh 22, Bradford 12. The kick to come from in front of the post.
A little bit of redemption there from George Flanagan, given his indiscipline in that first half, and Bradford just building pressure nicely. They've enjoyed the better of the start of this second half, and they've got the rewards, and now they need to keep their heads and keep working their back into this game and take advantage of Leigh's ill discipline.
We've had 52 minutes gone on the clock, and a chance now for Jordan Lilly, the Pulse 2 kick predictor, 98%. A huge opportunity to make it an 8-point game, and John Magrin about to come on the field. He played 35 minutes on Wednesday evening. So, Lilly from in front. Pulse 2 scoreboard. Leigh 22, Bradford 14. Another enthralling fixture from the Betfred Championship, and the latest scores on the doors in the Betfred Championship will tell us that there's some real humdingers elsewhere. It's Barrow Raiders 10, Halifax 8, it's Batley 12, Sheffield 36, and it's Featherstone Rovers 12, Widnes Vikings 0, and it's York City Knights 38, Rochdale 0. In the Super League, Salford 26, Wakefield 16. Here at the Leigh Sports Village, with 27 minutes remaining, it's Leigh 22, Bradford 14, and while McNally's been in the bin, of which there are 2 more minutes remaining, the Bulls have got themselves back in this one with 6 valuable points on the restart. Garside offloads the ball, it goes backwards to Grant. Grant's brought down 25 metres out from his own try line, 3rd tackle gone. Wilde off the bootlaces to Garside. Garside down the middle, he's brought down by Bachelor and Costello in a 2-man tackle. 4th tackle gone here now for the Bulls. They're 15 shy of halfway in centre field. Lilly goes probing, line ball to Wood. Wood's brought down, and that now will see Bradford just shy of halfway as Ethan Ryan goes in at dummy half. It goes to Michella, to Peltier. Here come the Bulls, here come the Bulls. It's Garside. Garside brought down on the last tackle, 30 metres out. Granted at dummy half to Michella. Michella to Lilly. Lilly takes him. Here it goes. They're going to let it bounce. No, they're not. They're going to catch it. And here go Leigh. Leigh have the ball. They're still going forward with the ball. Great tackle and body check there from Jordan Lilly. And Josh Woods, he had his eyes open like dinner plates heading towards the Bradford line. And now Greg McNally about to come on here. A crucial period, a tipping point in this game. They've gone high. George Flanagan. And it's a 9th penalty to Leigh in front of the post. And I think they're going to take the 2 points on offer here. Luke Mawson, Pulse 2 kick predictor, a very generous 87%. It's 30 metres out, centre field position in front of the Leigh Centurion supporters. And Martin Ridyard just 1 miss this afternoon. This would really suck a bit of intensity out of the Bulls game, because if this goes over, the gap's up to 10 and they get the ball back.
Again, we see Bradford fighting their way back into this game, well on top at the start of the second half, and then give away silly penalties. And the kick at the end of that set just wasn't good enough, didn't use the conditions well enough. The ball flew back 20 metres towards the own Bradford line, and Leigh come away with the ball, win a penalty, and Ridyard looks like he's going to slot over the two. There it goes in between the H, and now Leigh 24 points up here to Bradford's 14. Steve Crossley looks to come back onto the field for Ross Peltier. It's an intriguing last 20 minutes we've got set up for us, Mick, but Bradford can't keep giving away penalties like that.
Well, Leigh have only scored 3 tries. Thornley, Costello and McNally. The other 6 points coming off the back of penalties. That now is the fourth time in this game Martin Ridyard has added an extra 2 points via Bulls ill discipline, and we've had 21 penalties. Leigh 9, Bradford 12. And on the restart here at the Leigh Sports Village, Mick Glenn and Luke Mawson, Bradford Bulls live on Bulls 2. It's Leigh Centurions 24, Bradford Bulls 14. And we've had 56 minutes gone. We're approaching the hour mark here. 24 minutes remain. There's still a lot of time on the clock and a lot of leeway and leverage on the scoreboard for the Bulls to get back in this one. Ridyard goes probing, finds Woods. Woods over on that right hand edge. Andy Thornley, the former Wigan man, he's brought down just shy of the halfway line. They're going to come back down this centre field. Magrin's come on with Crossley, so Keir a double interchange, and Leigh on the last tackle just inside the Bradford half. Josh Woods taken late off the ball, and it's another penalty. What on earth is going on out here this afternoon? A 10th penalty given away by the Bulls. They've just imploded again, Luke Mawson.
How many times do we see a shot on the kicker, Mick, and you get penalised for it? Steve Cross is asking the question there, but it's just silly. It's just silly, and it's gifting Leigh more position here, and having fought so hard to get back into this game, they look like they're trying just as hard to throw this one away.
Ross Peltier takes a well-earned break on the bench. Here come Leigh then. Can they turn Bradford's ill-discipline into points and punish them daily? They're 10 metres out. Josh Woods taps the ball. They will do immediately. It's Andy Thornley around and underneath the posts. He has tried number 4 of the season. Leigh have their 4th try of the afternoon, and it is now Leigh Centurions 28, Bradford Bulls 14, and they have 22 minutes to save this game. That is just going away from them.
It's a real sucker punch, is that one, Mickey. If we thought McNally's try took the wind out of the sails, this one's just done just as much there. Another penalty, another needless penalty. There was no danger whatsoever, but the penalty left Leigh 10 metres out from the Bradford line, and on the second play they go in, and the Leigh fans behind the sticks there revocal, and they think they've got this game sealed here.
Pulls to kick predictor says Martin Ridyard has a 59% chance, 15 in from that far stand side. 28 points to 14. Greg McNally back out there on the field. Leigh back to 13, and that is another 2 points from the ever reliable boot of Martin Ridyard. And here on Pulse 2 this afternoon, with 60 minutes gone, 20 minutes remain, the Bulls now down by 16 points. It's 30 points to 14, and Jordan Lilly, he is lining up the restart on the halfway line. So we have 60 minutes gone, 20 minutes remain. The Bulls force Andy Thornley into a shallow restart, but Thornley does well, palms the ball back, and Leigh have the ball from their own 20-metre line. Just looking at the body language down below the commentary position, John Keir with his black book in his right arm looks far from impressed with what he's seen here this afternoon. It was billed as a 4-pointer, but Leigh have come up with an error, 15 shy of halfway, and that is going to give the Bulls a bit of an advantage here. Another opportunity. Hit back now, Mick. You have to put points on that board. You're almost chasing as many points in as many minutes are remaining in this one. Don't forget, you can text us on Pulse 2 this afternoon. 074-65115 and start your text with Pulse 2. Let us know what you think. Is the commentary good? Is it bad? Are the Bulls good? Are they bad? Who's going to win? Let's see what happens. They're moving the ball down this left edge. It goes now towards Magrin, to Crossley, to Lilly. Lilly to Ryan. Ryan's going to be brought down 15 metres out, just to the right-hand side of the post. Gibson in at dummy half, to Lilly. Lilly now, to Wilde. Wilde on that left edge to Michela. Michela, he puts the footwork and he has his head down towards the Leigh Centurions try line. Flanagan's in there at dummy half. Flanagan towards the Leigh line. Last tackle. You've got to suspect this is it for the Bulls. A mountain to climb here at the Leigh Sports Village. Wilde, Grubbers one through, and Leigh do well, and they defuse the situation. And once again, not for the first time this afternoon, Greg McNally's positional play has certainly dumbfounded and unstuck the Bulls. Pulse 2 scoreboard. Leigh 30, Bradford 14. 18 minutes remaining here at the Leigh Sports Village as Leigh carry the ball up to their own 30-metre line. It's Lilly and Grant in defence for John Keir's side. Hood's in there at dummy half. Floats it down that left channel to Cater. Cater's rolled over, and that's the last tackle from the Bulls. So a solid defensive set here from John Keir's side. It's going to go back to Ridyard on the last, straight down the throat of Ethan Ryan. Are we going to see some more Ethan Ryan magic? The Bulls could do with it, but he tries to plot his course past the red and white striped shirts of the Leigh Centurions, and he's brought down on the Bradford 30-metre line. Here goes Defogging Johnston, tackle number 2, 15 shy of the halfway line, centre field. Wilde down the middle to Oakes. Oakes up to halfway, third tackle gone. We've got 17 minutes remaining. The Bulls are down by 16. They need a score next, you feel. Lilly now to Garside. Garside back in support to Lilly. Lilly in a centre field position. Manages to skip past Cater, but the pass there to Wilde, and Wilde is immediately smothered, and that is fourth tackle gone. A tackle remaining as it goes out of dummy half from Flanagan to Crossley. We're on the last tackle now for the Bulls. They're 30 metres out on that far stand side. Wilde takes him. I don't know what on earth that is, Luke Mawson. Was that a drop goal? What was going on there? That one has just bounced in the Leigh goal area, and it's gone dead, and that's a 7 tackle set. Gareth Carvell and the Bulls coaching staff, they've got their heads on their hands.
Certainly not the way they wanted to end the set, and Mike Wilde's kicking in very strong throughout this game, but that one just fell a bit flat. It's a 7 tackle set for Leigh, and the game just going into a bit of a lull at the minute. The atmosphere's quieting down a bit and it's just settling back down.
Well, as we've already mentioned, a massive weekend in the Championship. Liam Hood's away. Liam Hood's inside the Bradford half. He's toying with George Flanagan. He's lost the ball. George Flanagan just got the better. The two Bradford ball players. They give each other a pat on the back. Jordan Lilly's down in back play. The referee will stop the clock. Lilly's getting a bit of attention from the Bulls physio, Matt Duke. And we've got to say here at the Leigh Sports Village, with exactly 15 minutes remaining in this one, it is absolutely paramount that the Bulls get points on the board next, and in certainly quick time. It's currently Salford 32, Wakefield 20. Crucially for the Bradford Bulls in terms of their quest for the top 5, it is Barrow 14, Halifax 8. So if Halifax do drop points there, that certainly is going to make it a 4-team for 3 places, especially with Bradford hosting Halifax next week. That one does come into must-win territory if the Bulls are to have any hopes and aspirations of being in the top 5. But let's not rule them out yet. We still have 15 minutes remaining, and from the scrum, Ethan Ryan will take tackle number 1 on that far stand side. Wilde in defence now to Magrin. Magrin, good strong leg work there from Magrin. Second tackle gone. 40 metres out in front of the lead post. It goes out towards Ross Oakes. Ross Oakes on that left edge. Third tackle gone. The 25 metres out. They're down 30 points to 14. The Bulls, if you're just joining us on Pulse 2 this afternoon. Fourth tackle gone. Magrin in front of the lead post. 20 metres out. What can the Bulls do? Who's going to be the catalyst? George Flanagan down the middle. 8 metres out. underneath the post on the last tackle. And George Flanagan now has caught a stray arm, and referee Ben Failer is going to stop the clock. And this will allow the Bulls, Luke. It'll allow them to regroup, reset. It'll allow Leigh to think about their defensive positioning. But certainly George Flanagan, a lot of effort there. He taking on that Leigh Centurions line, and he's just caught a stray arm there. Nothing malicious about it, as John Duffy behind us is about to bring Mickey Hyam on for the last 15 minutes. And Mickey Hyam, hard to imagine him made his Leigh Centurions debut here in 1999. Referee Ben Failer is just going to have a word with the Leigh Centurions trainer here now, and he's going to be spoken to. Flanagan's back on his feet, so
Not
here
something
we go.
you see too often, that, Mick.
I tell you what, this has to be the play that gets the Bulls back in the game, you feel. Flanagan with 15 minutes remaining on the last tackle in front of the post. Wooding at dummy half to Wildy. Wildy along the line to Ryan. Ryan kick through for Johnston. Johnston's got it down. Oh my word, it's another one. Johnston's knocks the ball on in the act of scoring. It's a fourth error now from the Bradford Bulls inside the Leigh Centurions in goal area. It's deja vu. Someone wake me up from the pain. I feel like Bill Murray.
I've lost count of how many errors that is over the Leigh line, Mick, but the Bulls still creating opportunities, Bradford, and that's the promising sign. They are creating opportunities, they're just not taking them.
13 and a half minutes remaining here. Leigh 30, Bradford 14. 4 missed chances. I tell you what, you scored 2 of them, and you're down to a 1-score game. Leigh up and over halfway, giving it some air, out to Fawnley. Fawnley's away, Fawnley back inside, and McNally will go past Mikey Wood and defugging Johnston, and that is the game here at the Leigh Sports Village this afternoon. 68 minutes gone on the clock. The Pulse 2 scoreboard ticks over in favour of the hosts. It is Leigh Centurions 34, Bradford Bulls 14. Greg McNally, his second try of the afternoon, and he now has 15 tries for the season. It's Barrow 21, Halifax 8, and that sets up an absolutely crucial game at Odsal next week. Tickets for that game are just £10 for adults, and for the first 10,000 tickets sold with juniors, just £5. It has been designated the Bradford Bulls Armed Forces Day, and it's certainly going to be an occasion not to be missed. So if you wanted some rugby league from the Championship, some Bradford Bulls action, then get to Odsal Stadium next Sunday. Bradford against Halifax, 10,000 tickets, £10, all in aid of the Armed Forces Day celebration. Barry Ridyard, Pulse 2 kick predictor, 44%, and he has put that one to the right hand side of the post. So the Bulls down by 20 points, and I think, Luke, when we speak to John Keir after the game, it is going to have to be about those 4 missed chances, because if you take 2 of them, you're still in the game.
I think the scoreline's maybe a bit harsh from Bradford. I don't think there's too much between the two sides. The only difference has been Leigh have been able to execute their plays, and Bradford have come up with errors with the Leigh line gaping, and that's ultimately been the difference this afternoon. If Bradford are going to be pushing for this top 5 playoff position, they're going to need to fix that up. They can't afford to be giving teams 34 points and not taking any themselves.
Leigh Centurions then on the restart. Hyam in at dummy half to Sam Brooks. He's brought down there by Gibson and Garside, and Magrin comes in as the 3rd man. That will halt the Leigh forwards' progress. But Hyam straight out of dummy half. Got to say, Leigh have killed the Bulls with their quick thinking, the superior play the ball as Ridyard now down the middle. There's options on the inside and the outside. They're still going. Great tackle from Dalton Grant. He wraps up Luke Douglas 40 metres out from the Bradford line. Josh Woods kicks into support. There's no one at home, and it's going to be another try for the Leigh Centurions. Liam sixth try of the afternoon for John Duffy's side. They are going to open up a 4-point gap on the Bradford Bulls. And do you remember Luke Mawson? We were waiting to get in here this afternoon, and I feared, I don't like admitting it, but I feared we might see another Featherstone, and sadly we are.
You proved me wrong, Mick. You said you'd call me out, and you have, and you proved me wrong. My 36-14's close, just the wrong way around.
I didn't want to call you out, but when you go to places like Featherstone, Widnes, Leigh, you have to be mentally tough, and this is not a criticism of the Bradford Bulls whatsoever, but as we've said, you have to take your chances. The Bulls have bombed 4 chances, and we can only call what we see, and ultimately that is going to be the difference at the end. Yes, they've given away 10 penalties, they've had the 8 errors, but when you do that against a top 4, top 5 side like Leigh, like Featherstone, you are going to be put to the sword, and unfortunately that is what has happened this afternoon as Martin Ridyard takes Leigh out to 40 points.
It's a very harsh lesson in rugby league, Mick. It was a very harsh lesson at Featherstone, and it's another one this afternoon, and the two teams who are pushing the top end of a championship, and Bradford just struggled to keep up in both games as the game's gone on. Leigh are getting stronger here, certainly taking advantage, and just looking at Bradford's body language here, I think they're hoping for an early whistle. There's still 8 minutes of this game left yet, and they just need to see this out and regroup.
It's like walking in the desert for 6 hours with no water. You're just seeing mirages in front of you, and they're not tropical rainforests. The Leigh Centurions players hungry to score more points. On Leigh, after this afternoon's game, they'll move up to 22 points. Bradford will remain on 18. It'll be a 10th defeat of the season as Leigh now move it down that right-hand edge. It goes to Hallis in that 2-man tackle. Magrin also there. Here goes Hyam once again to Douglas. Douglas has been industrious, along with the huge framework and footwork of Sam Brooks. Hyam tries to win a penalty, finds Ridyard toying there with Minchella comes in, wraps him up, 5 shy of halfway. We're on the 5th and last tackle. Hyam to Josh Woods straight down towards Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan takes that from his own 20-metre line, and Ethan Ryan now will carry the ball 20 shy of halfway for the Bradford Bulls. We've got 7 minutes remaining here at the Leigh Sports Village. Bradford put to the sword once again by one of those top 5 challengers. It's Leigh 40, Bradford 14. They're on the halfway line. Hallis to Grant. Grant's still going, Grant, wrapped up. 5 inside the Leigh half. Thornley and Ridyard, the 2 Leigh defenders. Here goes Lily to Wilde. Wilde misses out Staunton, finds Ryan on that left edge, brought down by Hyam and Woods. Last tackle for the Bradford Bulls, trailing 40 points to 14. 6 minutes remaining, 30 metres out on the last, centre field. Lily puts one up, looking for the support of Grant and Garside, but that was a great tech there from Ian Thornley on this main stand side. He diffused that situation, and Leigh now are just going to run time off the clock. Luke Mawson, we normally hand it to either Damien Irvine or anybody else who's lucky or brave enough to join me on the commentary box. We've now got it's your job to give a Bradford Bulls live Pulse 2 man of the match.
I think it's a tough one this afternoon. I don't think there's been a lack of effort from any of them. Just as Martin Ridyard lines up per 40-20 here.
It's gonna go the right side. But it's going to hold up in the eagle area.
It's just gone out. Time with us there, Mick, if it were coming or going.
Tap on the 20 for the Bulls.
There's not been a lack of effort from a Bradford point of view whatsoever. I think Ethan Ryan's looked good coming out of the back with the ball. Elliot Minchell has been trying there at the middle as a ball playing 13, but ultimately I think for me the man of the match, Matty Wilde, from the Bradford Bulls. He's kept going, his kicking game's been strong. Got a try for himself, but he's been orchestrating plays, playing in the half-back positions with Jordan Lillis. So Matty Wilde's been Bradford's best player for me.
Matty Wilde, the Bradford Bulls live man of the match. You'll hear him during the week on the Pulse 2 audio boom account. And in 4.5 minutes time we'll be going pitch side to hear from John Keir. That of course uploaded to the Pulse 2 audio boom account, and for those that struggle with that sort of thing, on YouTube on Bulls TV. Mikey Wood plays the ball. Just inside the Leigh half, here goes Hallis. He's demonstrating that there's been no lack of effort here from the Bulls. Carries Bradford 20 metres out. Crossley's in there at dummy half to Lilly, along the line to Wildy. Wildy looks up. McNally out of position. Too much on it there from Matty Wildy, and that will be a 7-tackle set for the Leigh Centurions with 3 minutes remaining here. It is full time at the AJ Bell Stadium. Salford 44, Wakefield 20. A huge result there for Ian Watson and the Salford Red Devils. Elsewhere in the Championship, Barrow 21, Halifax 8 still playing. Bartley 24, Sheffield 54. So a lot of points at Mount Pleasant. It is Featherstone 12, Widnes 4. Watch out for Ryan Carr and Featherstone Rovers. They're the dark horses in terms of Featherstone halting that top two of Toronto and Toulouse. And it is York City Knights 60, Rochdale 0. We'll certainly work out what happens to the table after all these results. But as things currently stand, Bradford are going to be 2 points outside of the top 4 with Sheffield in 5th. Leigh, they're on the last tackle. 10 metres out from the Bradford line. It goes to Gareth Hock, to Josh Woods. Woods peppers one in behind the Bradford line, but Matty Wildy, who takes the Pulse 2 Man of the Match award, he's tackled 2 metres out from his own try line, and now Matty Wildy's gone down, and he is down in a bit of pain, and referee Ben Failer is going to stop the clock. And the first full-time result from the Championship this afternoon is York 60, Rochdale 0, and that will mean the York City Knights move on to 22 points along with Featherstone and Leigh. So in terms of the top 5, Bradford are in fact going to be 4 points adrift this evening, and it doesn't get any easier for the Bradford Bulls. Next Sunday on Pulse 2 from 2 o'clock, Bradford against Halifax, the 5th instalment of this West Yorkshire rivalry. Bradford simply have to win next Sunday against Halifax, or it is looking like it could be season over. Don't forget, tickets for that game are just £10 for adults. For the first 10,000 tickets sold, with juniors only £5, and any serving military veterans with the Ministry of Defence or a veterans badge, they get free entry. And it's all in aid of the Bradford Bulls Armed Forces Day, a massive Armed Forces Day celebration, and there's certainly going to be a royal salute. The parachuters are going to come down with the ball, so the parachuters are going to deliver the match ball as Matty Wildy gets to his feet. He'll play the ball, and time back on here with 90 seconds remaining on the clock. Remains to be seen how much this defeat will take out of the Bulls' tank ahead of that tie next week against Halifax. But Bradford still trying right to the end as Lilly is brought down by Hyam and Brooks in front of his own post. The Leigh supporters, you might be able to hear them in the background, they're cheering every time a Bulls player is tackled, and Garside will play the ball on the last tackle. Lilly looks up, the Bulls well beaten in the end, but there will be an inquiry, there will be questions asked after Liam Kirk, Ross Peltier, D. Foggin Johnston and Matty Wildy have bombed 4 tries over the Leigh line, and John Keir, well, a penny for his forks. 40 seconds remaining on the clock here. Gareth Hock moves the ball down the middle. Crossley and Hallis and Peltier go for the legs, and he's brought down 30 metres out on his side. Hyam's in there at dummy half. 3 tackles remaining here for the Leigh Centurions. It's going to go to Thompson. Thompson's brought down by Garside and Peltier. The crowd here this afternoon, 4,180. Leigh are going to get revenge over the Bulls after their round 8 defeat, and they're looking for more points in the closing minutes here. Last tackle in front of the post. Hyam to Woods. Woods out wide. It will be Bradford Bradford's heaviest defeat of the championship season to date. Leigh Centurions are in again, and it's 44 points to 14 in the 80th minute here at the Leigh Sports Village. Another try that they've conceded, the Bulls, and it was soft defence, fragile defence on that left-hand edge. 44 points to 14, and Liam Forsyth has his second try of the afternoon. Pulse 2 kick predictor gives Martin Ridyard 62% chance, 10 metres in from that far stand side. He has been impeccable with his goal kicking. And Luke Mawson, Leigh, they're going to remember this victory for many a year to come.
Yeah, they've certainly got their own back, haven't they, after the defeat at Odsal Stadium in March, and they've been impressive. They've done to Bradford what they've done to a lot of teams here this year, and they'll continue to do to a lot of teams as the season goes on as well. They're a formidable outfit at the Leigh Sports Village, and we can see why. They've taken the chances, they've executed plays really well, and with the fans behind them, they're going to be a very, very tough team to top if they can make it into that top 5 spot at the end of the season. As Ridyard lines up the kick, and it sails between the uprights at 46 points to Leigh. Bradford Bulls 14.
46-14. This will be the heaviest defeat of the season for the Bulls in the championship. They conceded 42 points away at Featherstone, 46 this afternoon, and I think in the end those missed chances, Luke, they've just added to a bit of a deflated and depressed feel. Although Jordan Lilly has got to force an error from Gareth Hawke, and for the first time this season, Bradford have forced their opponents into 3 goal line dropouts, so I suppose that is a slight positive ahead of that mouth-watering game against Halifax next week.
Is it too late for a comeback, Mick?
I think 46-20, another try, a third try from the Bulls. Let's see what happens.
We're running out of time, but
the clock's gone past 80. We're into time added on here. And Crossley, he'll meet Gareth Hawke 30 metres out from that Leigh line.
What we certainly have seen is Bradford building pressure and building those repeat sets, and it's something we probably haven't seen in recent weeks. And unfortunately, they haven't been able to execute on the back of that, but that's certainly something they can take into the game against Halifax next week. That ability to kick in behind, build that repeat set, and hopefully they'll work on the execution and fix that up, because they'll certainly need to with the threat of Halifax next week.
2 tackles remaining. Ashley Gibson 10 metres out. Hallison at dummy half to Lilly. Lilly on the reverse pass towards Garside. Garside twisting and turning, looks for support, can't get past Ridyard and Hyam, and Matt Garside is brought down 2 metres out from that Leigh Centurions try line. 46 points to 14. It's a massacre at the LSV. Lilly to Winchella. Try time coming up here from Staunton, and Matty Staunton, he has try number 2 of the season. 46 points to 18. That is consolation, but it'll give the Bulls something to build on for next week. We're in the 82nd minute, the second minute of added on time here, and it is now 46 points to 18, and the Bulls fans, in good humour, they chant easy.
Yeah, a nice play again on the back of a repeat set. They actually execute a play and they're going for a try from Matty Staunton. It was a nice pass by Elliot Minchella, just put him through a gap, and the youngster showed his strength to break through and stretch out to touchdown.
Lilly adds the extra 2, and referee Ben Failer will stop the clock. We still have time here at the Leigh Sports Village. So I don't think we're quite going to see a Bradford Bulls comeback, but as we said, it's them small positives that the Bulls can use.
There's certainly stuff they can take from this game, Mick. The scoreline might look 46-20 in favour of the Leigh Centurions, but they can certainly take heart from the fact that they've kept going. They had a little bit of a lull. I think heads went down, but they're certainly coming back into it. Might be a little bit too late, but that's certainly something they can take into next week. As the ball's dropped on the line, the case of commentator's curse, if ever I've seen one there, Mick.
Well, a sorry afternoon for the Bulls. A 10th error there as Ross Peltier knocks the ball on underneath his own post. and it will be a scrum to the Leigh Centurions. Time surely got to be up here. 46 points to 20. I think there's one last play remaining in this one. So Martin Ridyard, 10 metres out. Leigh about to hit the half century here at the Leigh Sports Village. They're going to come on this main stand side. They are in at the corner. It's a walk-in. It's a strolling. It's Ian Thornley. He gets in on the act. And Leigh, they've put 50 points on the Bulls. 50 points to 20. Time was up. From the scrum, it was higher to Ridyard to Thornley, and Thornley went past Garside and Grant. It's a try right in this main stand corner, and Leigh now have 8 tries this afternoon. The hooter sounds in the background. Well, there might have to be a bit of an inquest in this one, Luke Mawson. It'll be interesting to see which path John Keir takes. Will he go down the route of just forgive and forget, an approach that the Bulls adopted after the Featherstone defeat, albeit there was some honest evaluation and self-praisal? This one, a difficult result to take. 50 points to 20.
I think we saw a bit of a response from that Featherstone defeat in the game against Halifax. Ultimately they fell short, but there were certainly signs in that game where they'd learnt the lessons from the previous week, so we just need to hope that this is a good lesson, a harsh but good lesson, and they can certainly take, as the kick drifts over from Ridyard just to rub salt further into the wounds.